Even though it's day 13 of my commitment to you for a mental health walk and talk for the month of June. I'm really enjoying these, hoping you are too. It's a Saturday evening and I am walking 3 hounds, and I wanted to talk tonight about, okay, so when people say I need to lose weight, yeah, it's not, they don't lie in bed at night going, oh, I gotta lose a stone, like I need to lose 20 pounds. Like, that's not the start. That's not keeping them awake at night. What keeps people awake at night, or what bothers people, or what consumes them, isn't necessarily the number on the scale, they might say it, is they don't want to feel like shit. Okay, it goes way deeper than that. They're fed up of wearing like those comfort clothes, the black, the stuff that just doesn't make you look as chubby. Let's be real, right? They're fed up of getting out of breath going up the stairs. They're fed up of just like feeling miserable because like they're just poisoning themselves with shit food, alcohol, and lack of movement. So understand that it's never the weight loss. It's that number. It's, I just want to feel like less like shit. I actually don't want to dread the summer. I don't want to make excuses to go to the beach or go swimming because my internal dialogue is awful. I don't want to feel like I could be better, and just like going around in that kind of like that slump. I've been there, I've done it, I've got the t-shirts, what led me into the industry, and I felt like that at times during, you know, my career when my kids were young, and I just was, man, it was so hard with the lack of sleep. But this is the tricky thing, right, guys? People can talk a good game, they say they want to change, they want to do all this, right? And you know, when people sign up with me, they sign up to a program, that's what they present to me. You know, want to feel fitter, want to be able to run around with the kids, want to look better in my clothes, blah, 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 all that jazz. But here's the thing, just because you pay your money, you commit to something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you see it through. Because you see, the thing is, you've got to do the work. No matter how good your coach is, no matter, you know, what they set you up on, excuse the barnet, you've got to do that work. And you see, the feeling that you're craving isn't instant. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, let's say you're in a very fortunate position that you're buying a new car. You're really excited about this nice new car. You've saved up, or you've been able to get the finance on it, and this is a mint car. You know, people are going to go, fucking hell, yeah, you're looking mint in that car. I've had cars like that where I feel the absolute top bollocks when I drive it off the forecourt. So you go in, you pay your money, you do your exchange, you sort your finance, you sort your insurance, at least I hope you would, and you drive off. And you're in that motor and you feel a nut. You feel absolutely nuts. You've paid your money, you've got the feeling. You drive off in the motor and you are loving life. People are like, oh, nice motor, yes, loving that. Very smart, yeah, you're loving it. You get that feeling. Now, with material things, I would say that feeling does die down, but that's not the point of today's video, okay? You pay the money, you get the feeling. It might be when, let's say, you go, I don't know, you might be into like really nice fashion trainers, or you might be into, you know, you might book a weekend away with a really nice spa or a top-notch bar and restaurant. And you pay your money, and then in return for that money, you get the feeling that you're looking for straight away. Maybe you've been saving up for like a really nice pair of trainers. You pay your money, you find the trainers, you pay your money, you get the trainers, you put them on, boom, they look the nuts. Or you go away, there's no, you know, got the kids, it's nice and relaxed, you sat in a nice bar, you're overlooking the beach, whatever it is, nice food, boom, you've got that feeling. You've paid for it. You've got that straight away. The problem is, it ain't like that with your health and fitness. This is what makes this game tricky. You see, when people approach me, I'm selling them a feeling. We're all selling a feeling, whether you're a fucking car salesman or a trainer salesman. We're all selling a destination, right? But like I said, you buy a car, you drive it off, you get the feeling straight away. You put the new pair of Mint trainers on. It's like if I go and buy a new pair of running trainers, I'm like, oh, can I pay for them, but wear them now? Because the feeling's so nice, all that new cushioning, you can't wait to go out for a run. But it's not like that with fitness. So I sell the destination. Hey, you want to lose 20 pounds? You want to drop 20 pounds? You want to skyrocket energy in 12 weeks? People are like, yeah, I'm in. Then they realize they've got to do the work. And that's where the problem starts. Because people will buy on emotion. Fuck me, yeah, I'm in. I want to lose it. I'm in. I'm fed up of feeling like shit. I want to change. And then when it comes to the crunch, they got to do the work. They're like, oh, fuck, this is hard. Change is hard. Yes, it is. I get people sign up with me who say they're going to stop drinking. They're going to stop having the takeaways. And yet they might be watching this video tonight, doing the exact things they want to stop. And there's no judgment. I'm just saying that it is hard. It's hard, okay? So what do? Well, we have to tap in to that feeling that we're ultimately looking for. We've got to tap into it, because you don't get that straight away. You don't just pay your money. Hey, Tregs, I've signed up for your Healthy Happy Dad, or I've signed up for your one-to-one. And it's like, boom, yeah, I feel great. No. You got to listen to me, and I will have you feeling great within a couple of days. But then it's keeping that. But you've got to tap into how you want to feel. Maybe you've forgotten what it's like to feel good. Like literally, maybe you have forgotten what it's like to feel good. And it's hard to tap into. But there would have been a time in your life. There would have been a time in your life where you felt great. Maybe you've got old pictures of you. And yes, it might be 20 years ago, but I don't buy into all that age should be a limiting factor shit. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit story. If you're around my age, mid to late 40s, I personally think life is more set up for you to succeed with your health and fitness. As an example, I'm walking 3 dogs this evening. 20 years ago, I wouldn't be walking anywhere, mate, and I'd be in a pub. Yeah, but my life has changed. I've been mountain biking with my son. I'm walking 3 dogs. I want to. I'll have an early night because I want to. I've got kids. I'm not going to be staying out getting pissed all night. It's just my life is different. You know, also you should have a little bit more money in your pocket to invest in a trainer, healthier food, a boot camp, whatever it is. So I don't buy that. Oh, the best time I felt was 20 years ago. Great, get a picture of it and let's go back there. I can guarantee your life's more set up for success now. So you've got to tap into that feeling. How do you do that? Well, you've got to play the long game. You've got to get that visual. Get that visual of you 20 years ago. A lot of my clients are popping up in my WhatsApp chats today and going, oh my God, I've just fitted into a t-shirt that I've not worn in over a year. It feels amazing. I was going to bin that and now I'm in a t-shirt. I quite often say to potential new clients, have you got any clothes in your wardrobe that you can't fit into? Yeah, I have. Yeah. Right. Get them hung up. Get them hung up in a place that you can see. Oh yeah, but I'm miles away from that. Yeah, but we need the visual, because I can't give you that result straight away. We need to use all these things which is going to help you achieve that goal, because it ain't just like walking in and driving out with a new motor or a new pair of trainers or a weekend away child free. You pay your money, you get the experience. It's not like that with health and fitness. You got to do the work. And this is why it's so tricky. People buy on emotion. Yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to skyrocket energy. And then they got to do the work. And ultimately, it doesn't matter how good the coach is. You got to do the work. And like now on the weekends where it's tough, it's easy to revert back to time, to be sat there having those beers, to be eating that shit. And then every Monday comes and you're like, fuck. Okay, so how can we flip it? Well, if you're not quite sure how good you can feel, because I'll be honest, and this is all said with the most amount of love, a lot of people watching this video will be walking around and they won't even know how good they can feel. They won't even know how good they can feel because they're caught in a trap and a spiral of just, it's sluggish. It's not dialed in. It doesn't have to be super dialed in, but they're caught in that junk food, drinking, takeaways, no movement, indoors. You don't know how good you can feel. That makes it harder to change because you don't even know what that feeling's like. When you get to a place of, you know, you've got a good 3, 4, 5 weeks under your belt of good habits and you're like, I don't want this to go. like, I love this feeling. This feeling's amazing. I feel great. You know, and then it's like you might have one higher calorie day or one weekend where you have beers, but you want that good feeling back. So what you have to do is tap into how you don't want to feel. James Clear says in Atomic Habits, okay, how do you change these bad habits? Well, the result of it, make it unattractive. What do you mean by that? He said you can either make it invisible or make it unattractive. So let's talk about if you want to stop drinking on the weekends. Okay, there's two things you can do. Don't keep beers in the house, or tell your friends you're not going down the pub. That's making it invisible. Or make it unattractive. Okay, so if you wake up tomorrow feeling like shit, or you wake up Monday feeling like shit, thinking I'm doing all this work, and yet all I seem to do is I'm in that fucking cycle on the weekend, right? Sit in it. Sit in your own shit. Tomorrow morning or Monday morning, go, do I really want to feel like this? You've got to make it unattractive. You've got to sit in the pit, because then you'll want to change. I've had so many Sunday mornings like that, so many Mondays. Even as a trainer, you'll always get full transparency from me, where I was like, no, I hate this. I hate this feeling. And as a PT, I'd be going into work with imposter syndrome, going, no, this is not good, Tregs. This is not the standard you should be setting. And I would tap into that pain. And ultimately, that would make me want to change. I don't want to go into work feeling like shit on a Monday. I don't want to wake up on a Sunday morning sluggish, like puffy, because I've done like a load of booze and a Chinese on a Saturday night. Like, we think that's a treat. We think that's a reward. The reward is waking up feeling good. And listen, I'm not preaching. I'm not getting on my high horse. As you know, I love a pint, and today I've probably had the best part of 3,500 to 4,000 calories because I've been active. There's a big difference to being a sluggard and not really warranting those calories to, you know, being active, getting out with your kids, doing stuff. But if you can't even imagine how good you can feel right now, you need to use the pain of how you're feeling to sit with that. And it's like, I don't want to feel like this. Make it unattractive. You know, I quite often have this with clients, and you know, clients will say, oh shit, I'm gonna go and smash a load of beers. And I go, yeah, but okay, but how's that going to affect tomorrow? Oh yeah, I'm busy with the kids. Well, that ain't gonna be. I remember my CBT therapist did exactly the same with me. I didn't realize what he was doing at the time. I didn't realize that at all. I was in a bad spiral of self-sabotage, poor food. And this is going back in 2015. I went into him one day and he's like, you look shattered. I said, I am. You know the drill. The kids ain't sleeping. I'm knackered. I'm growing this business. I'm VAT registered. I'm overwhelmed. I got 10x the outgoings. He said, what are you going to do after this? I went, I'm going to go shop. I'm going to buy some cans. I'm going to get some chocolate, some crisps. I was going to go home and drink a lot. And he went, you got an early start tomorrow? I said, yeah. He said, you got a long day? Yeah. He said, how are you going to feel? I said, like crap. And he was just looking at me, silence. And what he was doing, he was creating space for me to realise that what I was going to do was just reactionary, and that I was going to feel like shit the next day. And he was like, well, that would be stupid. How many PT sessions have you got? Right, okay, well, why do you want to feel like that? Like, why not just go home and just have a square meal and try and get to bed and get what sleep you can? I remember doing it and like thinking, wow, what a revelation. All I wanted to do was just self-sabotage and, you know, go mental. And he was making it unattractive for me. Because if you want to change and you don't know what it feels like to feel, and I'll tell you, you know, you probably don't know what it feels like to feel really good right now. Some of you will be, some of you will, but really good. Waking up, you know, in your 40s, in your 50s, like with energy. Just like, yeah, come on, that can be done, guys and girls. But you know, you've got to do the work. It's not like going into the forecourt with your money or your car, you know, your car changeover or your new finance arrangement and boom, driving it off, or getting the new trainers. It's not like that. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. And listen, the feeling of the new car, the feeling of the new trainers, that does go. But the feeling of having energy, the feeling of having a great body, the feeling of waking up, not feeling like you've been dug up, the feeling of having clarity, confidence, that stuff is just, you can't buy it. It's got to be earned. So if you're feeling like shit right now, sit in it. You know what you've got to change. You know what you've got to change. Because when you do change, when you do decide to change and you embrace those good habits, everything changes physically, mentally, spiritually. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you conduct yourself, the way you walk into a room, the way your kids see you, the way you see the world, everything changes. So, do you want to change? Are you ready to change? Because it ain't just the £10 you want to lose, it ain't just the £12 you want to lose. You want the feeling, you want the confidence, you want the energy, you want to radiate positivity and not walk around like you've been dug up. But you get a choice. I always say, the power of choice is yours. You get to choose. Have a great evening.